I'm currently building a 26-year-old LEGO set from 1999. My brother had it when he was a kid, but I'm pretty sure he built it wrong, so I took it apart, downloaded the instructions, and tried again. I quickly figured out why this thing was built the way it was. There are a lot of missing pieces, so all the modifications he made were done to try to make the model work. This set is meant to emulate the Naboo starfighter as seen in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It's an awesome and sleek ship, which was challenging for LEGO to mimic back in those days, but I'd say this thing looks pretty good for a first attempt. As I was building it, I could see where certain pieces had been stuck together for over 2 decades, as they were completely pristine once I split them apart, especially compared to some of the really dirty and grimy ones in the rest of the set. Up until this point, I was able to get around any missing pieces, because they were internal and I could just cover them up with ones on the outside. But that was all about to change as we got to the engines, right here. You need certain yellow cylinder pieces to make these cones on the engines, but I only have 3, so I used them to build the first engine just fine, but when it came to the second one, I had to use one of my brother's substitutes, where he used a blue cylinder. I had to take out my super gonk to make the torpedo launcher, but sacrifices. So this isn't exactly the successful rebuild of this ship that I was hoping to do. As you can see, there are a number of problems by following the actual instructions. For one thing, there's nothing at the end to make the antenna because those pieces just don't exist anymore. And the engines now do not connect because there's supposed to be little things you add at the bottom that have little Technic pins that go out like that, which would attach to those holes right there. Unfortunately, I cannot find where those pieces might be, or if I ever even had them in my place to begin with, or if my brother has them somewhere. Probably that. So now I'm going to have to undo some of what I just did to sort of fix all that. Alrighty, and there we go. All I did was remove these pieces that were there at the end, and then just attach them like that. It's not the most stable thing in the world. It would be a lot more stable if the Technic pins were available or somehow, but this ends up working out all right, and now we can actually fly with the engines on there. But there's a few more changes I want to make. The first one is going to be getting rid of these blue ones right here, and my brother came up with a really clever solution that I'm going to try as well. So I took apart both engines like so, and what my brother did was he put the blue ones in here. And while in theory right now it seems like you only have to do this to one engine, we're going to do it to both. For one, consistency, but 2, it's going to help us make an antenna at the back right there. And honestly, that doesn't look too bad. It looks like a bit of cool energy circulating in there. And now we can do something similar by bringing in this extra blue piece that my brother must have had lying around at some point, attaching that to there, and then building the things the way we would have before. And just like that, no more ugly blue pieces around there. Now the blue pieces seem almost intentional and really cool, hidden in there with jet fuel. Now for the antenna in the back, we'll see why we took out the other yellow piece right here. We're going to combine it with this random dome that wasn't even, I can't see this anywhere being in the actual set, so I think my brother must have just had this somewhere. And this random antenna, it'd be great if this was yellow. It is not, but we take what we can get, and we can attach that on the back like so, and that kind of works as a little antenna there. And so now here are all the extra pieces that were in the set when I had it and then I took it apart. This is all we have left over. Not that one, that's from the Super Gonk. So let's find places for these little pieces here. These ones are going to go right in here, where there should be Technic pieces, but instead they're just going to serve a little cosmetic purpose. I'm trying to figure out where to put these tile pieces, but I think I like this one up there. Kind of rounds it out a little bit, and I think I might do this one right up front like that. Doesn't look the greatest, but I have to put it somewhere, and instead of doing it on the wings like I had it originally, I think this could look worse. Or maybe that, actually. Yeah, that maybe looks a little better. I don't really know. Yeah, okay, these are going on the wings instead. Yeah, never mind. And now for these pieces, I have an idea that might work. See, there's an empty spot in here where there was supposed to be just a black brick that covered that entire space. I'm just gonna fill this in because every time I take off the cockpit, this entire piece comes with it. And so this way, we won't just have empty space in there, although it is sometimes nice to imagine having a little bit of storage. All right, now we'll just close that back up. So now, well, maybe it should work a little better, we'll see. And as for this piece, I really can't think of anywhere to put it. I've got two ideas. One is gonna be right here, like a little grill, or right here in the back. Again, as a bit just of a grill. Let's see which one I should do. I like the front as a bit of a grill like that, bit of exhaust from, in theory, some sort of central engine or cooling battery for the laser cannons. And there we have it. This is a semi-rebuilt, semi-modified Naboo starfighter from 1999. The back here looks a lot better with the original instructions. It was very loose and open before. I'm glad I can't even show you what that used to look like, but here we go. I'm gonna post a little review as a separate video because this was really long, and I'll see you in the next one.